located in South Mesopotamia, which today is modern Iraq. The first to settle in Sumer were the nomads. The Sumerians invented cuneiform, which was the earliest form of writing. The Sumerians used cuneiform to keep track of business records. The people who kept these records are called scribes. Scribes also kept track of what people trade. If you were a scribe, you move up in your social class.
The Sumerians also invented the wheel. They made carts and wagons with the wheel. They also created a pottery wheel and a plow. With the invention of the plow, farming in Sumer increased. The Sumerians also made tools and weapons from bronze.
The Sumerians had very advanced technology when it comes to medicine. To salt their medicine, they used milk, turtle shells, and figs. They created healing drugs with animals, plants, and minerals. They listed their medicine according to symptoms and body parts. They also made metal coins instead of weighing gold and silver. Using metal coins also made trade easier.
The Assyrians lived north of the Fertile Crescent. They farmed many crops and had a wide variety of land to plant the crops that they grew.
Assyrians were the first to use paved roads. The roads made trading much simpler because the traders could get around faster and easier. This shows that they were more advanced in their time period.
Also, Nivea, Assyria's capital, had held one of the ancient world's largest libraries. Also, King Ashurbanipal had collected over 25,000 clay tablets throughout the Fertile Crescent.
To add another thing that the Assyrians used that helped them in further problems were that they created levees and canals when flooding occurred. This had kept their crops safe and still let them produce large amounts of surplus. Finally, the Assyrians were feared by others because of their large advantage of having their weapons. They used bronze before they had found iron that had a huge impact on their weapons and could help them in battle. They used iron in their battle as weapons such as swords, shields, and armor.
Around 600 BC, after the Chaldeans defeated the Assyrian Empire, Babylon was made their capital. A Chaldean king named Nebuchadnezzar restored it. Babylon was located right along the banks of the Euphrates River. Being located so close to the river gave them an advantage for farming. When the river would flood, it would leave behind a thick layer of mud called silt, which tremendously helped with the planting of crops. The Babylonians also used irrigation, which is the bringing of water to crop fields by means of canals and ditches. Without irrigation, the land would have turned into an area of swamps and deserts. The crops which were grown in the irrigated areas were the only source of food for the Babylonians. The agriculture formed the economic base of the Babylonian civilization with production of barley, wheat, fruits, vegetables, and most importantly, cattle and sheep.
The Babylonian Empire was at its peak during the region of Hammurabi, and Hammurabi's most unforgettable legacy was his code of laws that he put together. He had 282 specific laws which dealt with everything that affected the community. He engraved these laws into stone, and he had several copies scattered around his empire. King Hammurabi's laws were, for example, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
The Babylonian architecture was also very unique. Nebuchadnezzar had the Babylonians build the Hanging Gardens of Babylonia for his wife because she missed the green hills and valleys of her home. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon was later named one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
One of the most important aspects of Babylonian religion and tradition is the ziggurat. A ziggurat is a tiered pyramid-shaped structure that formed part of the Sumerian temple, made by using mud bricks. Ziggurats were built to reach near the heavens. This was so the gods could be contacted and worshipped. The Persian Empire was located in what is today Iran. The Persians based their empire on tolerance and peacekeeping. The Persians, along with their ruler Cyrus the Great, were military machines. To be a military machine, you need an army that works together. They have to be well-disciplined and well-trained. Also, they would need to be superior and have good technology, good leadership, and good skills. And that is just what the Persians had. The Persian Empire was emerged as a major military power. under Cyrus the Great. Their way of warfare was based on a collection of soldiers on foot in light armor to beat the enemy force at the same time as mobile troops dealt with the others. According to the Greeks, Persians wore no armor. During this time, many of these people rode horses. The Persians took over the entire Fertile Crescent by riding horses and shooting arrows from short bows. Darius built the road to facilitate rapid communication through his very large empire from Susa to Sardis. The Persian royal road was an ancient highway reorganized and rebuilt by the Persian king Darius. This also made trade easier in Persia.
The Persians also used standard money. They manufactured metal coins. No longer do people have to weigh and measure the pieces of gold or silver to pay for what they bought. This, and along with the royal road, helped to promote trade and kept the empire together.